Is Hot Girl Summer still happening this year?
How many carbs are in a White Claw?
If I squat every day, will I get a dump truck?
I'm Shai.
I'm Leah.
We are Two-Tone Training.
You're listening to Don't Tone Alone.
Happy Thursday. What's up, toners?
What up, toners?
Welcome back. I'm Shai.
I'm Leah.
And we are Two-Tone Training. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. We are so excited. We have a very emphasis on the very special guest.
You use that line with a previous guest, so we need to add in a few more varies.
Maybe like a drum roll. Okay, I left that to you. So, yeah. All right, we'll let him introduce himself. But we've got someone from Bachelor Nation, ladies.
Oh, shoot.
They've been requesting. Everyone knows that we are like reality TV junkies. It is like our guilty pleasure.
Yes.
We can't lie.
No shame.
No shame in the game. So we are so excited to have Brendan from The Bachelor. Brendan, why don't you go ahead and say hello, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, I'm so happy to be here. I appreciate you taking time out of your early morning to have me. So I appreciate it, and I'm super excited to be here. The energy is unbelievable. So I'm stoked to be here. You're keeping me awake here.
I love it. Well, is it us, or is it the 10 espresso shots that you told us you had prior to this?
Yeah, that's a great question. No, I think it's a little bit of mix of both. You need balance, right? So it's definitely your energy, but I had this is my second double shot already this morning, so it's a good start.
Oh my gosh. Well, we have so many questions for you.
Yes.
But our first one is, first of all, thank you for coming on.
Yes, thank you.
But the question that we've gotten most, and when we started polling our toners, they want to know, especially we want to know, how did you get on to the show? I know you've probably told this story a million times.
Yes.
But
spill the tea.
Yeah, I'll spill the tea. No, for sure. Honestly, it's a question I get, but like it's really not too often. It's mostly about my experience. But I just applied. It was
just apply.
I just applied to the show. I was one of the only single guys left in my friend group. My friend group, it tends to be a little bit older. It's my brother. He's 31, and our friend group too. We're super close, and everyone has a girlfriend. Everyone's getting engaged. Playing hockey Thursday nights here in Toronto. They just said, if anyone could do a reality television show or kind of go through that experience and potentially find love, it would be me. I just applied, and they got back to me, did an audition tape, and here I am. It's been like such a weird, wild ride. It's very surreal. I think the hardest thing is really doing the audition tape. Anyone can really apply for a show, but doing the audition's the toughest thing. It's very cringy. You just kind of have to bite your tongue and do it. I have my audition tape in my mailbox somewhere. I should put it out there on YouTube because
we need it.
I'll get you some clips of it. I will. I definitely will. Some people told me to put it out there, but you just kind of have to have fun with it. Be yourself. A lot of people tend to try to be someone who they're not in these audition tapes, and I put my bloopers in. I put all the times I screwed up in the audition tape, and they really like that. So. Just be yourself. But, you go through the application process. And as a Canadian, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be on the show. I'm just going to apply. I'm just going to go through with it, right? Yeah. But, you get the call, and it's like you're flying out in 2 weeks. And it was like, wow, this is wild. So, yeah, it's been a wild ride for sure.
That's crazy. So did you have someone edit your video?
Was it just a raw cut? No edits?
We need to know.
No, so my friend Brooke, she does videography along with her brother. They're very good at that, and she cut everything up. She put my name at the bottom, like it would be in an interview on The Bachelorette. So
official. 26. Did she put your occupation and everything?
Yeah, she did everything. It was wild. And she just cut it up too. Even when I was talking, she would put photos. If I was talking about my dog or my dad, she would cut it to show photos of my dad and myself, and she made it look really good. And it was about 9 minutes long. It took me a day to kind of bang out the whole day of doing takes. I was I threw on a suit jacket. I started, and she makes me laugh all the time. So I said, listen, you can't be in the room. Put up the tripod. I was kind of off center too, looking at a wall. That's because you don't want to look dead in the camera, right? So I was looking dead center off to a wall. talking to myself, basically trying to remember the questions that they wanted to know about me and all the little details. And
how many questions are there?
There was there's like 5 major ones that they want to know, like introduce yourself, do you have pets, do you have roommates, who do you live with, do you live alone, talk about your family a little bit, have you been in love before, and why would you be good on the show, like a couple of those like kind of generic ones. But I also threw in like rapid fire questions, like summer, winter, beer, wine, like little things like this, just rapid fire, just to change it up a bit. So you got to have fun with it, but that's the toughest part, I think, going through this experience for a lot of people, because tons of people apply. And I know people from the past that have applied to these shows and they're like, oh yeah, like I got a call, but then they're like, oh, audition tape, like I don't want to do it.
Right.
So
well, I think that's how they kind of like vet people, right? They're like, who is like really serious about it? Like anyone can write in an application, fill out a form, but like who's going to go that extra mile to really like record a tape, edit it? And I feel like that just shows that they're serious about the process.
Yeah. It really becomes a full-time job once you apply. You really have to get them what they need, and just like the paperwork and planning interviews and Zoom calls too. So you really have to have like a lot of time to go through the whole process. But in the end, like if it happens, it's the best experience of your life. So
that's amazing. So when you got the call, was it a call or an email that you got that was like, we'd love to interview you?
It was a call. It was a text at first, a phone call, an audition tape, and then just a bunch of interviews throughout the whole process. When I got the call though, to be on the show, I remember I don't know if I was with my dad or not. I was at a local pub though that we go to. It was a local bar, and throughout the months of going through the application, you would get calls just to like people check in, like, hey, by the way, can you do a Zoom call tomorrow? Can you jump on the phone call tomorrow? And you would see on your phone it says California, so that they're calling you. So I remember getting it was 2 weeks out, and my phone's ringing. It says California. I'm just like, hello. They're like, hey, they're like, Brendan, yeah, congrats. We're gonna fly you out in 2 weeks. And
did you pass away on site?
Wait, so were you at the pub still? When
I was at the bar, but like I didn't tell anybody. I was just like, it kind of did like a little fist pump, and I was just like drinking a beer, and I was just like, yeah, shots. Like,
we're so differently, and I would have like got up on the bar, told the whole
no,
packing my bags.
No. It's always confidential. The whole thing. My dad, my brother, and Blake knew when I was going through it too. So you just got to keep it to yourself. It's tough though, because it's obviously exciting, and it's like it's once in a lifetime opportunity, right? So you just always want to tell everybody, but at the same time, like these guys, it was probably like a Monday night. The guys were like, why are you buying shots for everybody? I'm like, don't worry about it. Just like
just take the shot.
Just in a few Mondays from now, you'll thank me.
You'll understand. Yeah, of course.
A girl walks in, like starts hitting on you. You're like, I'm all set. They're like, what? You don't you don't get it.
you don't get it.
You don't understand. Wait, we have to know, what shot was it? What kind of shots did you get?
Fireball.
That was like the quickest answer ever. And he was like, and fireball.
Yeah, fireball. I'll do some Jaeger bombs, but like fireball just hits differently. I mean, it warms you up a little bit. It's I don't know. It kind of gets you into like the Christmas spirit too. It's cinnamon. You got the cinnamon heart flavor there too. So I don't know. I'm a big fireball fan. So.
Oh my god. Okay, so next time we're gonna have to do like a nighttime recording and get the fireball going.
We should do one of those, like one of those nights where it's like, guys, bottoms up.
Bottoms up.
Yeah.
That should be a podcast. The podcast should be called Bottoms Up, and you just slam
the marketing and the branding. You were made for this.
I'm starting it. I'm starting it.
You heard it here first, toners. It's happening.
Subscribe, rate, subscribe.
We'll do the wrist with the fireball shots.
Done. That's it. That'll be your intro, and you'll just hear the swirling of the fireball. It's gonna be the best.
It's on.
All right. Patent that idea.
All right. So you get the call. You're at the pub. You're super psyched. They say 2 weeks, you're flying out. What is going through your head? Like, are you nervous, excited? Have you watched the show before? Did you know what you were getting into?
I was super excited, but also knew like, hey, 2 weeks, I need to get suits.
Suits.
Being here. Well, I had suits, but you want to get your wardrobe going too as well. You want to spruce things up a little bit. But we're still in the pandemic. Like we just opened up like really not too long ago. Like Toronto's been closed down, right? So nothing was opened up. Like nothing was open. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do online shopping. Like I need to try stuff on. I need to feel it. I need to be there.
And I'm not going to lie. Like your outfits, like were on point. Like you just like a very well-dressed guy.
Shay went to fashion school. She went to fashion school. So that like
so
means
that man right there. Yeah. He's got it going on.
Wow, that's a big deal. I appreciate that. Yeah. I sort of, it's fun like dressing up, for the rose ceremonies. It's just the change. It was mostly my wardrobe, like throughout the days, like you can't have logos, right? So you need to have just plain clothes. And I was like, I wish I could buy some new clothes, but I traveled outside of town to get a couple new suits. But that was my biggest thing is like, hey, I need to start packing and just figuring things out, buying new dress shoes and
that tells us like a lot about who you are as a person. So like you don't let the emotion take over. You're very just like logical, like, okay, this is what needs to happen. Like it wasn't just, oh my God, it was just, okay, I need suits, shoes, ties. No ties. We didn't see ties.
No ties ever. I honestly didn't pack one tie. Funny story. My roommate, being James, he's like, you come on the biggest dating show in the history of television and you don't pack one tie. I was like, I feel like suits, they're like they speak for themselves. If you have a nice suit and you don't need a tie, you just keep it like you look good, but like you're really not trying, sort of thing. And if you have that, that hanky in there too, it's like, listen, like I think it looks like, in a word, like it looks sexier without a tie. I think ties are kind of out of style.
Who needs a tie when you have a hanky? Who needs
100%. New merch.
Oh my God, you should a whole line of hankies.
A marketing genius over here. Who needs a tie?
I know that we have a stake in this company.
Swipe up 20% off. Promo
there we go.
Oh my God.
But it's kind of an investment. It sounds like you are investing in all of this clothing, and I feel like, especially for those people who get sent home like pretty early in the game, like that must be pretty devastating. You're like, oh my gosh, I just like bought out a whole wardrobe for this.
Trust me, it's that's the biggest thing night one. I mean, I think leading up to it. So, I was nervous. Like the 2 weeks felt like the longest 2 weeks of your life, even though, you're about to fly out. But the day flying out, you're just like, okay, you're going to have to quarantine and go through the protocols and stuff. But you're like, night one, I need to get a rose. I'm going to get a rose. You just manifested sort of thing. And I just did it. Like, there's no way I'm sacrificing all this, telling my dad I'm going on the show to like come back right away and say, yeah, like I didn't even get through night one. So 7 guys go home. So you're just on edge the whole night. It's late. You're exhausted. That was the most nerve-wracking part, but you do take a week. You take it day by day when you're there, but you take it week by week too. Like rose ceremony by rose ceremony, and you just want Katie to like you night one. Like it's the limo night is like the most nerve-wracking thing I've ever done in my life.
What was your line? We were trying to remember. What was your opening line?
So they cut like, you do have like a little bit of time up there. They say take your time and talk to her. I like the way they cut it because like I'm always like more of a simple guy, but I didn't want to do anything like crazy. Like producer's like, hey, what are you doing? I said, listen, I'm
going in there with just my hanky and just my suit. Like
I'm just gonna pull it out and throw it up in the air and walk away. That's all I'm
hanky drop.
That's it. So I remember I'm getting out of the limo, and listen, like I blacked out night one because I was so nervous.
Not from Fireball, people. Not from Fireball. From just being nervous.
Just from being nervous.
Just wanted to clarify.
My heart was pounding on my chest. And you get out, and since like you're in a desert, it was all rocks. So you step out, it's so quiet. You like step on rocks, you can hear the rocks. I'm like, oh my God, like this is brutal. I do up like my top suit button. I think she said hi, and I said hey you, but it seemed like I said hey you first, right? But I don't know. It's like it's something you would say at a bar. Like, I mean, that's the type of guy I am. I'm not trying to be like someone who I'm not.
I feel like hey so you is something you say to someone that you like forget their name. Like, hey you.
Leah, you can't diss him.
Thanks guys. Thanks.
We'll work on it next time. I feel like we can really pull something epic together.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I have no game at all. So I proceed towards Katie, and I walk up, and leading up to the moment, like you are trying to rehearse lines in your head. So like when I'm in the hotel room, like I was looking at myself in the mirror and I was talking, trying to even like put in perspective what Katie's going to say back to me, which I was like, that doesn't make any sense at all. Like, you know what I mean? I was trying to rehearse lines.
That would be me though.
So as soon as she, so I go up there and I was like, hey, like, and she was cold. It was freezing at night. And I was like, can I have a hug? And she's like, yeah, of course. So I hugged her and she's like, what's your name? And I was like, right away, I'm just like, I forgot everything I wanted to say. So I was like, hi, my name's Brendan. And I said, how are you feeling? And I was like, are you nervous? She's like, no, like, I'm feeling really good. I said, well, you're going to do incredible. I was like, I would give you my jacket, but I do have to compete with 29 other men in there. So I do have to look my best. And then what I just said, like, I'm excited to, be a part of your journey. And I'm so honored to be here. And, we're going to have a lot of fun. But yeah, I wanted to keep it simple and genuine. And I think that's what I said. I'm pretty sure that's what I said.
Okay. We'll have to roll back and watch the tapes.
But I like that. It was like simple, but I feel like you made her feel just like reassured. You were there for her. I'm sure she was a little nervous, even though she denied it. It's a crazy process.
I love that you said like, you can't have my jacket, but
can't ruin.
Well, I ended up giving her my jacket when I played hockey with her the first night. I was the only guy to give her my jacket. Aww. Just saying.
Okay, just putting that out there.
Oh my God, what a guy.
Hanky drop. Not a big deal.
So you did keep it simple, and I like that. And I think Shai agrees that that's the way to go. So do you guys judge the people that just go all out, like show up in the cat suit, or do these ridiculous entrances? Are you like, really?
Yeah. I didn't know what like certain other guys did. Like some guy came on like a moped RV. Like I didn't know because the house was so far away from where the limo night was taking place. So, but like when Connor B came in, like there's always that one guy, right? There's always someone has an outfit on or something. So yeah, I was just like, I'm pretty sure I told him, I was like, dude, you have balls, man. I was like, I can never do that. So good for you. Like you can pull it off. And like, if I know Katie's a cat lover, so I was like, you're going to be well. Like, I could already tell, like, you can judge someone's personality. Like, he's outgoing, doesn't really care what people think. So you can already analyze someone's personality from what they do or what they're wearing. So I know certain guys are like, there's no chance I would ever do that. But I like Connor B the first night. Like, I kicked it with him. I was just like, man, like, good for you.
Yeah.
Like, you have some balls on you. And I was like, I hope you get a roast tonight because
you went all out.
That would be pretty brutal. That would be brutal if you didn't get one. So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to backpedal a little bit because we are like a health and wellness podcast and fitness is our jam. So I kind of want to talk about, I guess, mentally and physically kind of what you did. It sounds like it was a quick turnaround time, but to prepare for the show. Like I know hockey is kind of your jam. You're an athletic guy, but was there anything special you did? Like you're going on TV, it's coming. From the I Do Live, I hear you have quite the full range of cosmetics going on too. So like, what is this prep process like?
And you're a firefighter too, right? Or
yeah, certified, fully certified firefighter. I'm waiting for my interview in the fall to get in the full-time department right now. So
well, if you need a reference,
you come. Oh yeah, please send me a letter, please.
That's amazing.
Honestly, I didn't prepare to, like, honestly, mentally, you can't really prepare for this stuff. Like, you really can't. You're thrown into it. Physically, like, I'll be honest, like, I'm not a big fitness guy. I haven't really worked out consistently, like, in a while. I just actually joined CrossFit, like, 2 days ago.
Oh, he's a CrossFit guy.
Hey, I just joined it just to, like, I'm not trying to get, like, I just want to feel better mentally. Like when you do work out and you sweat it out, like I just want to get into a better routine. And it's kind of like it gets you out of the house. It's like kind of a responsibility, It's like, hey, I have this class at 12. I got to go. Even today, like I'm going to go at noon.
He's like, I'm actually late. I'm late for CrossFit.
Yeah, honestly. Because I've been on a podcast all morning. So you can't really prepare, honestly. You just got to do a lot of face masks and keep your skin clear before the show.
You do have glowing skin.
A lot of, listen, guys, it's 8:45. Come on.
Truly.
I just got up.
I woke up like this with the perfect hair, glowing skin. Yep.
Honestly, I did wake up like this today. There was no
not
chance
to brag,
I would shower this morning. Man, just saying, it could be better, but
no.
Okay, thank you.
Leah's like, no, it couldn't.
Yeah, y'all look good. Y'all look pretty.
Oh,
today.
stop it.
You girls are killing it.
Oh, thank you.
No, but this is awesome. So I'm glad you've gotten into CrossFit.
So that kind of surprises me about you. So you were a hockey player. Did you play in college or high school or juniors?
Yeah. I played junior hockey. And then, my last year at junior, I had a couple offers to go to the States for school.
Yeah.
I had an offer to go to Europe as well. I didn't love hockey anymore, to be honest. It just felt, it was just like weighing in on me. It was more like a job.
Yeah.
And at that point, like all my buddies were either going to the NHL or they were just like working or like getting life experience. And I just didn't want to, when you do play junior hockey, you do fall back a little bit. Like you do catch up when you finish. And I didn't really ever post that I played hockey, or I was never that type of guy to just brag that I played. So I just told my dad, I was like, man, like I mentally, I'm not there. I don't love it. And I just don't want, especially college. Like I wasn't a huge scholar even in high school, and he knew I wasn't a big fan of school. So he's like, would you be able to do like 4 more years of school, keep up your grades? And I was like, it wouldn't make me happy. So he understood it. I just wanted more like life experience and like my plan B, like that's what my life's going to be. And so that's when I decided to just focus on myself and my career, moving forward. So I think that's something and I don't regret that at all. Like I miss the locker room talk and all that stuff and being on the ice. And I still in the summers, like I'll go on the ice, but it's something that like I was not in love with hockey anymore and I didn't care for anymore,
Yeah, no, it's a big commitment. If you're not in love with it, it does feel like a job. So that's really cool that you're able to have those conversations with your dad too and be like, listen, this isn't making me happy anymore.
Yeah, he was not happy about it. Like, I'll be honest, he wasn't.
Yeah.
Especially even my last year, like I was struggling to even finish my last year of playing. But I played so well because I didn't put pressure on myself.
Yeah.
I knew like this was going to be it. And I had so much fun with the guys. So at that point, that's when people really did notice me because I was playing so well. And that was, I think, the tough part for my dad. And all
like,
his
you're going to leave now?
Yeah, now that you're thriving?
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. And that's basically what he said. But you also know, like, he took it harder than me quitting hockey because all of his friends were from hockey. Like, if I look back, like, the early mornings from when I was, like, 6 years old, like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., getting like the treats for the kids, like at that age and like tying my skates, like he had no time to meet like people in the outside world. Like it was just hockey. Yeah. So that's why he took it pretty rough. And like you understand that as you get older, right? Like when I'm younger and quitting, like I'm just like, Dad, like you're fine. But it was tough for him. And I know he's still like, he still goes watches his buddies' kids because he needs to be in the rink. Like he's just a hockey dad, you know what I mean? So
love that.
Yeah. My dad is kind of the same way. Well, it's funny because Leah's definitely more the athlete than I am. Like we're both into fitness, but Leah was like the athlete. And so our dad was definitely like, I think more invested than Leah herself.
I played basketball and lacrosse in college. And I think like my last game, my dad was like more upset than me. I'm like, Dad,
it's going to be okay.
It's going to be fine.
It's a sport. It's a sport.
It's okay.
Right? No. Yeah, lacrosse is insane. I played that for about 3 years.
Really?
But like I was just getting hurt. Like my dad's like, you can't do this anymore. You just can't do it. So
well, it's different in girls lacrosse. It's like don't touch anyone.
Yeah, I'm gonna break a nail. Yeah.
I hate that. I'm like, put me in pads. Let's go.
Let's go. But were a lot of the guys on the season, like I feel like a lot of the guys were fairly athletic. Were you guys? You had a lot of downtime in the house. Were people working out? Like what was the vibe during that downtime in the house?
Yeah.
It's funny. You almost always have downtime if you're not on if you're not on one-on-one, if you're not on a group date, like you're just at the house kicking it. Like, you're filmed 24 hours a day, right? So throwing the football around with the guys. A lot of guys are taking naps on the couch too. Like like we needed rest. Like we were so exhausted. Obviously eating on our downtime. People think we don't eat there. I'm like, guys, we eat really well.
What is it like? What do you guys get served?
It's like a buffet style. Like it's amazing. Like they treat you so well there. They feed you. You can eat whenever you want. There's snacks everywhere.
Can you request?
Yeah, you can honestly request any snacks you want. Like, I'll believe it or not.
You can.
Like I'll be like, like I'm just like, hey, I'm craving this, and they turn part of the house into like kind of like your own kitchen. Like there's a fridge there, and you can have like you live on Red Bulls. There's coffee,
espresso.
Like the cold brew Starbucks stuff, right? you know,
Oh my God, you're like, Katie, you're great,
there's-
but the snacks, the snacks.
No,
Yeah.
the snacks, beef jerky. You have like protein bars. Like honestly, like you have unlimited food there, and they always make sure like you're eating and you're hydrating. And well, you know, when you have downtime, you're just, you know, you're doing some sit down talks, you know, with some of the guys about certain scenarios that are going on throughout the season. But hot tub, you're in the hot tub as well. I'm trying to think, like, you know, you can go in
Pruning.
the hot tub, just throw the ball around. We're playing cornhole as well, having a
Love
couple drinks.
Oh,
Were you ever nervous that like during some of your downtime, I know you're being filmed 24/7. Like, did you ever have like a panic moment? Like, oops, I shouldn't have said that. Or like, I really just like hope that
oh my
doesn't
God.
get aired.
Yeah. I'd be so paranoid.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Because are they like are they encouraging you guys to have these conversations? I don't know how much you can say, or is it just kind of organically happening? Like there's not a lot else to talk about.
Yeah, it's very organic, because like half the time too, like you really, the one thing producers do say, they're like, hey guys, like, even, you know, when we just do our normal one-on-one sit down interviews in the room, they'll be like, you know, Brennan, like, let's go for an interview. And I'll be like, oh, you know, because like I'm having such a good talk with the guys, and he's like, guys, like, I'm so glad you guys are having a good time, but this is like, you know, we do have to do this. Like,
Yeah.
you guys are like, they remind us that we're on a show, because we're actually we don't even think we're on a show when we're with the guys. Like,
Yeah.
that's how real it is. And people don't think that. People think it's just like we get pulled, but it's like, you're having such a good time. I'm having like a life talk with Trey and James and Hunter, and they're just like, hey, like, they pull you from there, and it's like, come on, like, I'm in this like deep conversation.
Yeah.
Like, I
There's
wanna
so many
know
like
about this.
romances on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so
So
who is your
you're
best
really-
friend on the show? Would you say, like, who have you like?
He's
stayed
like,
in
"Don't
touch
make
with
me
the most?" I'm
pick.
sorry.
No,
Put you on the
no.
spot.
Honestly, like, my closest, like, I mean, everyone's roommate's very close. So James was my roommate.
Okay.
He showed up in a
So James-
present box, right?
Yeah,
A gift.
yeah. He's that guy. He's such a beauty. So, you know, he leaned like, you know, I leaned on him so much. After we got demiked that night, we would just like talk about life, and just like, that's our first time where we can really talk without being recorded. Like, it's just one of those things where it just feels good to just unwind throughout the day. Aaron as well. So Aaron, James were my two closest throughout, you know, going through deeper into the season. But night, you know, early on, like when Christian was still there, obviously Instagram Live yesterday, we call ourselves the Fearsome Foursome. So it's Christian,
Oh.
James, Aaron, myself.
Always with the
That's
branding.
like our crew, always with the branding. So we call ourselves like the F4. Everyone knows that. But honestly, it was James and Aaron. Those are my core guys there. But Justin was like always with us as well. We had Trey. You know, Blake was, you know, when Blake was there, obviously, you know, everyone really enjoyed when Blake showed up too. He's a great guy. So,
yeah, and you guys were really close before the show.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So did that translate on? It seems like you were kind of closer with the other guys.
No, like with Blake, it's just like, it's sort of like, I've known him for so long. It's just like family. So it's, you know, it's like a brother just walking in the house. But when he walked in, that's one thing. Like, they didn't show like all the stuff with Blake and I, right? Like,
Yeah.
obviously everyone's talking about that. There was no like, what the hell are you doing here? It was weird. It was definitely weird. I was like, and we had a chat. Like, I sat down. They obviously didn't air it, but I'm just like, when did you know you were going to show up? Because like, I was just talking to you before, like, I was in the airport, and he probably flew out like a few days later than me. But I was like, why didn't you tell me? And he's like, oh, I wasn't 100% sure. Or, you know, I didn't, you know, he didn't really have an answer for me overall. But I said,
Yeah.
listen, man, like, nothing's going to come in between our friendship. You know, if like literally told him too, I was like, man, if it's not me, like, I want it to be you. To like,
Yeah.
you know, I want you to, what kind of friend would I be if I didn't want him to find love or have a good connection with Katie, right? So even early on too, like, I had to speak to Katie about the whole situation. Like, it was like an elephant in the room. I was like, hey, like, you know, this is kind of funny. Like, you just went on a one-on-one with like one of my good buddies. Obviously, I want to address that. And she knew. Blake spoke to her about it, saying it's weird because I know Brendan, and just little things like that. We obviously had to talk about it. But I also felt like I needed to protect Blake as well when he came into the house, because I was trying to protect him, because guys were like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But then
Like, that's my friend.
100%. But then you want to be on good terms with the new guys, because you're still trying to get to know them, right? So the biggest thing, you know, Blake walked in and said that, guys, this is, you know, I'm here for Katie. This is weird because I know Brendan. and I basically told the guys, listen, like he was talking about Katie before I was even casted on the show. Like he would talk about Katie.
So I guess, so I'm curious. So then he was talking about Katie before you're on the show, and then you call him and say, hey, I'm going to date Katie. And he was like, okay, cool.
Nothing was confirmed. Because there was rumors that came out that Katie was going to be the Bachelorette, and then it wasn't going to be her.
Okay.
And then it was again, but nothing was confirmed until after the final rose, which was playing while we were in quarantine down in New Mexico. So I don't know if it was like, okay, they confirmed it and then he came, like, I don't know the whole timeline, right. But even, yeah, I mean, after her season, like he was always interested. Like I'd go to his cottage and we'd go fishing, and he was always talking about Katie and very highly of her. And he's just, all the memes going around between them because they're very similar. So I just told the guys, I said, guys, listen, Blake's here for the right reasons. He's a great guy. Like everyone get up, shake his hand, introduce yourself. And the guys, they liked me in the house and they respected me. So they trusted my opinion, and they brought him in with open arms, which was
Blake,
good. And
Blake was lucky to have a guy like you, a friend like you
that's
around.
So awesome.
But you're saying that some of this stuff got cut. I think one of the things kind of going around online is that like you probably didn't get as much airtime as you, I feel like, deserved.
We were upset.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We were upset.
So justice for Brendan.
And then you found your voice in Men Tell All. Like all of a sudden it was like not a lot from Brendan, and then all of a sudden Men Tell All, you thrived. What happened?
If we do say
savage mode. Honestly, throughout the season, like I know everyone's talking about the screen time thing. Like people always ask me, like, did you have time with her? Like, I'll be honest with you, out of not having a one-on-one, like I know every guy had a one-on-one up until that point, but I probably had like the most time with Katie throughout cocktail parties and like rose ceremony cocktail parties. I was always at the end giving her a drink first. I always pulled her. I pulled her first, like back-to-back weeks. All the guys would laugh too. Like you would think guys would get mad at that, but I asked them after, I was like, you guys mad that I'm pulling her first? Like, no, we just, like, you're in the perfect spot. We're like, we need to go sit in that spot every time. So I always made sure I had like a whiskey on ice for her. Not
Fireball.
Yeah, they didn't have Fireball. I asked for it. Trust me. I did ask
that
for
was
it.
my one snack request.
Yeah, but people were just like, yeah, Brendan's Katie's personal bartender, like making these jokes online. But I'm like, you know what? Like, if you go to a bar, like you want to get a girl a drink. Like,
and she likes whiskey. She's a whiskey girl.
Yeah, she does. So that's one thing I did. I was bold. I told her night one as well. I was playing hockey. I said, listen, like, I'm going to be bold. I'm going to show up week by week, make it feel special. So and especially like, you go the distance. I get the last rose. People are like, why is Brendan getting a rose? And it's like, guys, like, there's a reason. Like, there's obviously a reason why I'm still here. Like, you know what I mean? There's a reason. But for me, yes, I didn't get as much screen time, like, early on, but I really didn't need, like, I don't need the show to define like who I was or what people, like, I don't care. Like I love the memes, like it's hilarious, but I don't care. I don't need the world to see like what Katie and I shared or the conversations. Like we had some great conversations. We had some, great moments together. And that's just for me, like for my own, like, personal, like, opinion. Like I know what we shared was great. And, I'm always going to be a friend and have her back. So I don't care what if the world thinks, like we didn't talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's one of those things, but, mental, yeah, it's sort of, you got to voice your opinion, right? It's like a town hall meeting. You got to just voice your opinion and say it how it is. But, it's all love in the end with the guys. Like we're just men, we're voicing our opinion. And, you just kind of had to show up that day. So
I love that. You talk a little bit about how just like you and Katie were really able to kind of build that relationship. Would you say Katie is like your go-to type? Like when you got casted for the show, do you think they really like matched up like what you had on paper for your ideal woman and kind of compared it to hers? Or is Katie someone you wouldn't necessarily go with, but you were surprised by your connection?
Well, it's weird to answer because my buddy's engaged to her.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Like Katie, like Katie's a girl I'll buy a drink at the bar. Yeah. I'll get her. I'll buy her a couple shots. I'll buy her a beer, some whiskey. She's just she doesn't put up with. Yeah, like she doesn't put up with any nonsense. She's kind. She says it how it is. She's very classy, but yet so just like laid back and you know, she's very like, she's athletic. Like you just see her in these outfits too. Like, you know, when you go on these group dates, it's like, you know, like she's just such a normal woman too. Like people, you know, I guess, you know, first night you can see the Bachelorette and like you're in awe, obviously, like she's glowing and stuff. But like just to see her, you know, kicking it with the guys too on these group dates, playing, you know, bash ball with a little bit, throwing the ball around. Like she's a great woman. She's strong. She's beautiful. And, you know, that's, yeah, I would say she's my type, no doubt. But at the same time, I feel like I don't have a type. Like I don't have a specific type at all. I said this in one of my last interviews too. I'm like, on like a stereotypical on paper, you know, it would be this type, but like I've dated so many different, like my 3 long-term relationships, they've all been, you know, different types. Like it's been, yeah. So I don't have a type, I would say, but it's more energy and more personality for me. So, and Katie has that sass to her, but she's such a sweetheart. Like I need banter. I need sass too.
Sassy, but classy.
Love that.
Sassy. Thank you. Say new shirt.
New shirt. New merch.
I'm gonna wear it. 100%.
I'll wear it.
Sassy but classy.
Sassy but classy.
Okay, so one of the questions we get when talking about dating, we've talked a little bit about dating in some of our other podcast episodes.
Yeah.
Do you think, and I want to ask you, do you think like fitness, lifestyle compatibility is a thing? Like if you are someone who is, I guess, active or enjoys sports, does your partner have to as well? Like, do you think that's really important in a relationship?
Yeah, I would say I know a lot of, just looking back, I mean, my exes weren't like big into, like they played sports maybe in high school, but they weren't like, they didn't like watching hockey with me per se.
Yeah.
I want someone I could just like kick it on the couch, have a couple beers and just watch sports.
Yeah.
Or go to a sporting event too. So they don't need to be like sport, you know, they don't need to be playing a sport if I'm dating them, but obviously a healthy lifestyle. Yeah, just like maybe like going on hikes and just being active, obviously. That's a big thing. You know, like I'm not a huge fitness junkie. I just want to like stay healthy. So you know, all those, you know, the saying when couples are like, couples that work out together stay together.
You're like, ugh. That will not be on the shirt.
That is like not happening. Yeah, I think I just want someone who like likes sports and is more of like not uptight when it comes to that. Like if I want to put on TSN in the morning, Sports Center, ESPN, and just kick it and have coffee, and she's not like change the channel.
Yeah.
Like that's all I want. I want someone to watch sports with me.
Yeah.
I think that's my answer.
All right, you heard it, ladies.
Just watch some sports
with Brendan, and
just
he's good
watch
to go.
some sports with me, and I'll get on one knee. Let's go.
Let's go.
Bing, bang, boom.
Okay,
done.
we have some rapid fire questions to kind of wrap this thing up. Okay, first one is. All right, I'm pulling it up. Okay, but I need to know, what is the craziest DM you've gotten besides mine?
Besides Shai sliding into your DMs, will you come on this podcast?
Before Shai tried to ask me out on a date.
Yeah. I was like, guys, shots fired. I was like, first of all, want to go out with me. Second of all, want to come on our podcast.
And he's like,
no to the date, but I'll take you up on the podcast.
Hey, I'm classy, guys. I'm classy. You gotta watch what you say in the DMs. I'm just saying, you gotta watch what you say in the DMs now.
No, that's true.
Craziest DM. I mean, I get requests like requests, especially after Instagram Live. Like you can't even catch up to like messages on your phone.
Yeah. Has there anyone?
I reach out to fans, like genuine people that like someone this morning sent me like such a nice message, and like it was like I accepted it, and I was just like, thank you so much. Like messages like this really just get me through the week. Like it makes you happy. Like people, it's weird because people are on the other side of the world and they're just like, they know who you are and they're just like, we
appreciate
you for, because I think, you know what it was? They listened to my podcast with Mike and Brian, and they were just like, thank you so much. Like you're such an old soul, and you know, you've opened up my eyes to like understanding that, like, I don't know, there's so many genuine people out there, and then there's like the thirst traps.
Yeah.
And then it's like, put those aside.
And then there's Shai's DM.
And then there's Shai's DM.
Right in the middle.
Okay. Craziest DM. I mean, you can just imagine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you'll get people with fire off photos.
Oh my God.
Just like, hey, photo. I'm like,
Whoa. It's 7 a.m.
Damn.
You need to relax.
Yeah.
It
I'm
has,
like, I need a coffee.
I need a
Hold
few
on.
espresso shots before you start sending your nudes.
For sure.
Has there been anyone that slid into your DMs that you've been like super psyched about?
They didn't slide in, but I messaged David Spade and he responded. So I love David Spade. He's a beauty. So
yeah,
David Spade, bunch of like country artists too, like from Nashville that like I'm fans of.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who else. I mean, just even people from Batch Nation, like just people from past seasons that are like super cool.
Yeah.
You all kind of support each other because you all understand what you go through post show and stuff. So David Spade is like, yeah, he's hilarious.
What did he say? Was he like, I love your work, Brendan, on Men Tell All?
I love your work.
I love your work. I want you in a new film coming up. I messaged him and I remember I was with my grandpa at a bar on a patio having a beer. And I just messaged him. I was like, hey man, congrats on doing Paradise. Like, I hope you had a great time. And he said like, your season's a real barn burner. And then we sort of just like went back a little bit, a couple times, but he engages with I know he's a fan of the show too, but
I didn't know that.
I tend not to. I'm trying to think who else.
Yeah,
I love that.
I mean, there's definitely a lot of like there's like sports broadcasters. I'm not going to say names.
Yeah,
but people that slide in the DMs for sure.
That's amazing.
But it's really just a lot of friendship. It's really. Remember, like majority of my, like 70% of my followers are Americans. So I'm not it's not like I can build a relationship with these people off of Instagram app unless like, especially like traveling now, it's tough for us still right now. So, I'd say, David Spade's probably the coolest guy I've chatted with. He's a beauty. I'm a huge fan of his.
Yeah.
I love that.
But yeah, there's a bunch, there's a bunch of cool people you get to meet through this. And, I'm very grateful for that. So.
Okay, we've got a few more. Okay, we'll try to be more rapid fire about this. I have so many questions I could talk to you forever. Okay, so would you rather be stuck in an elevator with Carl or Thomas?
Thomas.
Okay. One girl from Bachelor Nation you'd love to go on a date with? Not to put you on the spot or anything.
I'm not even, because I only watched Blake's season to support him as a friend. So like I didn't watch seasons prior, so I'm not too sure. It's a tough one. I mean, that's tough.
All right, you'll get back to us.
Let's get back to us.
Okay, fair.
We'll save that.
Something you wish you knew before going on the show.
How late the nights would be.
Okay,
fair.
Now he's a night owl. Katie as a kisser, scale 1 to 10.
I'd say 10. Yeah, she's a great kisser. Sorry, Blake. Fuck. Sorry,
He's like, this is awkward. It's a weird world you guys are living.
I know it is.
Yeah.
All right. One thing you wish you said or did differently on the show.
I mean, I wouldn't change a thing. I mean, I'm not a drama guy. If I was maybe involved in more drama, you guys would see me more. But I wouldn't really change anything for the world.
Love that. If you were cast for The Bachelor, what would you say your type is? I guess your 3 top bullet points.
Physical.
My biggest thing overall, it's like someone who's adventurous, unconditional love, and like you just need someone who's like your ride or die. That's basically, that's my biggest thing.
Love that.
So.
Love that.
Okay. Will you be invited to Katie and Blake's wedding?
I would hope so.
And can we be a +2?
+2, just like I'm in between you girls, and we're just walking
yes,
like this, linking arms.
Boom.
Hey, listen, I'll wear a nice suit. You can style me. I'll let you style me.
All right, deal.
It's a deal.
I don't know.
Deal.
Pressure's on though. You definitely like know what you're doing, so I'm a little nervous.
And I guess I want to.
You gotta go ahead.
No. I was gonna
say you gotta prove to me that you're in fashion, because I mean.
Okay, true. I gotta pull out all the fits. I'm ready.
You're talking a big game over there, so.
All right. The pressure is on. All right, we'll see.
But we got to get you to Boston.
Yes.
We got to get you to one of our workouts. We tone virtually, but we also tone in person, which would be so amazing. So
I know that my question was going to be, are you coming to the States? Are you moving to the States? What's happening?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because Christian's from Boston, and even yesterday on Instagram Live, I was just like, when are you there? I kind of want to come out in like the next like couple 2-3 weeks sort of thing. I definitely want to be
And
out
if
in
you
Montreal.
don't come see us, I'm gonna be butthurt.
No, for sure. Like you girls will listen. Get me at the airport. Have a sign. You know what I mean? Just have a sign there. Sassy but classy.
Sassy but classy.
Make sure the air conditioning's blasting in the car and like we're good. I'll bring up just a little carry on, not too much luggage, and we'll have
it'll be simple. Like I said.
Yeah.
We'll bring you to the Two-Tone World headquarters. It'll be great.
We'll go to a Pats game too this fall.
Yes,
let's go.
I love it. All right, it's a deal.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. This has been amazing. We'll have to do it again, like we said, maybe a nightcap with some Fireball at one point. But we really appreciate
I'm in
it.
For that.
Plug yourself. Let's give you a few seconds to just like plug yourself. Where can people find you? What's next for Brendan? Like, how are you going to be using your platform?
It's a loaded question.
I'm just, obviously Instagram is a big thing nowadays. So I'm just having fun with it, really. You know, the Instagram lives, people that always want to have questions for me, get to know me. So obviously a lot of Q&As. Not too much. Those can get overwhelming. But I like posting, you guys see my page. I like posting just like
some fire
outdoor
content
pictures and beer in hand and just having a good time, kind of enjoying life. Life's short, and I like photography. I like, I don't know. I'm just having fun with Instagram right now. It's cool to see, who you can connect with. It's a great networking platform, and people could always reach out to me. I always give people the time of day all the time, right? So, Instagram's that's where to find me.
Amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much, Brendan, and we'll see you in Boston real soon. We're excited. Leah, we got to start planning.
We have to. All right. We got to end this the right way.
All right. Here we go.
You can tone at home.
You can tone from your phone.
But all we ask is that you don't tone alone.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thanks, guys.